Have you ever walked into work and felt your stomach tighten before you even reached your desk? Maybe your boss constantly criticizes you. Maybe they take credit for your work. Maybe they ignore your contributions, embarrass you in meetings, or make you feel like you're always one mistake away from being fired. And here's the hardest part. You can't just quit. You have bills to pay. A family depending on you. Career goals you don't want to abandon. So every morning, you face the same question. How do you survive a toxic boss without destroying your career? The answer is probably not what most people think. Because the people who successfully survive toxic bosses don't win by fighting harder. They win by understanding the game that's being played. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how. But before we begin, if you've ever dealt with a toxic boss, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. I will stay calm. That one phrase may become your greatest weapon. Let's begin. The first mistake most employees make. When a toxic boss attacks you, your natural instinct is to defend yourself. You explain. You argue. You try to prove you're right. You fight back. And that's exactly what many toxic bosses want. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how some bosses seem to get energized by conflict? The moment you react emotionally, they suddenly have control. Your frustration becomes evidence. Your anger becomes ammunition. Your emotional response becomes the story. Now the conversation is no longer about their behavior. It's about yours. A toxic boss understands something many employees don't. The person who controls the emotional temperature controls the room. The moment you lose control, you lose leverage. That's why your first goal isn't to beat the toxic boss. Your first goal is to control yourself. Because emotional discipline is professional armor. And armor keeps you alive. Understand what you're really dealing with. One of the biggest mistakes employees make is assuming their toxic boss behaves irrationally. Most toxic behavior follows predictable patterns. Some bosses use fear. Some use manipulation. Some use favoritism. Some create confusion. Some constantly move the goalposts so nobody can succeed. Why? Because insecurity often hides behind authority. A boss who feels threatened by capable employees may create chaos to maintain control. A boss who lacks leadership skills may rely on intimidation. A boss who fears accountability may blame everyone else. Understanding this changes everything. Because when you stop taking their behavior personally, you stop giving it power over your emotions. You begin seeing patterns instead of attacks. And patterns can be managed. Never fight a battle without evidence. One of the most dangerous things you can do is rely on memory. Toxic bosses often rewrite history. Suddenly they never said what they said. Suddenly deadlines changed. Suddenly agreements disappear. That's why smart employees document everything. Save emails. Keep records. Follow verbal conversations with written summaries. After a meeting, send a simple email. Just confirming our discussion and next steps. Professional. Polite. Powerful. Documentation protects you. Because when facts exist, manipulation becomes much harder. And if things ever escalate to HR or upper management, evidence speaks louder than emotions. The hidden power of staying boring. This strategy sounds strange. But it works. Toxic people often feed on emotional reactions. They want outrage. They want arguments. They want drama. Don't give it to them. Become boring. When they provoke you, stay calm. Stay professional. Stay predictable. Short answers. Clear communication. No emotional explosions. Think of yourself as a gray rock. Uninteresting. Unreactive. Difficult to manipulate. Over time, many toxic people lose interest when they stop getting emotional rewards. And even if they don't, your professionalism protects your reputation. Because everyone is watching. Even when you think nobody is. Pause right here. If this is helping you, take 2 seconds and subscribe. These workplace psychology lessons can save people years of stress and career damage. And if you've ever worked for a toxic boss, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Also comment. Document everything. Let's keep going. Build allies quietly. Many employees make another fatal mistake. They isolate themselves. They suffer alone. But workplace survival isn't a solo sport. Notice I didn't say gossip. I didn't say create office drama. I said build allies. Develop professional relationships. Help coworkers. Support others. Earn trust. Create a network of people who respect your work. Because when a toxic boss tries to control the narrative, credibility matters. And credibility is built through relationships. A strong reputation becomes a shield. People are less likely to believe false stories about someone they've consistently seen perform well. Your network becomes protection. Not through politics. Through trust. Focus on your value. Toxic bosses often want employees focused on their approval. That's a trap. Instead of asking, how do I make my boss like me? Ask, how do I become more valuable? Improve your skills. Learn new technologies. Develop leadership abilities. Strengthen communication. Expand your expertise. Because the more valuable you become, the more options you create. And options reduce fear. Fear is what toxic bosses often depend on. They want you believing you have nowhere else to go. But highly skilled people always have leverage. Even if you stay. The confidence that comes from competence changes everything. Know the difference between survival and surrender. There's an important distinction. Staying calm doesn't mean accepting abuse. Being professional doesn't mean becoming a doormat. You can establish boundaries respectfully. You can push back professionally. You can advocate for yourself without becoming hostile. The goal isn't surrender. The goal is strategic control. Think like a chess player. Every move has purpose. Every response serves your long-term objective. Protecting your career. Protecting your income. Protecting your future. The strongest professionals understand this. They don't win every battle. They win the war. Prepare an exit strategy even if you stay. This may be the most important advice in the entire video. Always have options. Update your resume. Strengthen your LinkedIn profile. Build industry connections. Continue learning. Explore opportunities. You don't need to quit tomorrow. But knowing you could leave changes your psychology. Suddenly you're not trapped. Suddenly you're choosing. And that mental shift is powerful. Because toxic bosses thrive when employees feel powerless. Options destroy that power. Even if you never use them. The truth nobody tells you. A toxic boss can damage your confidence. Your motivation. Your mental health. Your happiness. But only if you allow their opinion to become your identity. Remember this. Your boss is a position. Not a definition of your worth. Their criticism is not your character. Their behavior is not your value. Their title is not truth. Many talented people have worked under terrible managers. Many successful careers have survived toxic leadership. Many future leaders are being tested right now by difficult bosses. This season does not define your future. It develops it. And sometimes the lessons learned from toxic environments become the skills that make you unstoppable later. Final thoughts. If you're dealing with a toxic boss right now, remember these 5 words. Stay calm. Stay strategic. Document everything. Don't hand them your emotions. Don't hand them your future. And don't let temporary circumstances convince you that you're powerless. Because you're stronger than you think. You're smarter than you realize. And this situation will not last forever. If you made it this far, subscribe for more workplace psychology content that helps you navigate office politics, toxic managers, hidden power dynamics, and career survival strategies. Like this video if it helped you. Share it with someone who's struggling at work right now. And in the comments, tell me. What's the most toxic thing a boss has ever done to you? I read every comment. And remember, the goal isn't to win against a toxic boss. The goal is to protect your future while they lose control over your mind. I'll see you in the next video.